So here at Mount Sorrel, we carried out several first aid safety drills, and we noted that the response time could be improved by our first aiders, as first aiders were having to stop and collect defibrillators from fixed points around the site before responding. So in the event of a sudden cardiac arrest or a trauma incident, we needed to improve this process, especially with the scale of Mount Sorrel Quarry. We realised how important it was to have something in place. So actually our current first aid provisions were quite small scale first aid kits for the site, and we realised that in such a high risk environment we wanted to look at some trauma kits and additional defibrillators that were mobile, so we could use them out on site and take them to where we needed to be.
So Tarmac already had an earlier version of this particular hybrid solution, which was actually in a hard case. It was actually housed in a Peli hard case, but the case was quite heavy. It wasn't particularly portable.
At that point, 900 Solutions offered a prototype version of a first aid rucksack, and that contained additional and advanced trauma kits and contained the defibrillators within that as well. We then took the first aid rucksack to our safety focus group. So that is an employee-led safety focus group for the site. So we showcased them the demo product, what their thoughts were, ran through it, had a look at what options were available, and then we realised that it was a potential solution for the quarry to introduce.
So the modulator trauma kit basically is designed to be what I call workplace first aid plus. So it has all the elements that you'll find in your typical British Standard workplace first aid kit, but it has more of those items, and it also introduces modules to deal with trauma. So for example, at the heart of this is a heart sign defibrillator to deal with a sudden cardiac arrest, and we've also included a trauma kit which has bleed control, which essentially is a tourniquet and trauma dressing to deal with any kind of catastrophic bleed. So we've colour coded each module, so it's really simple for a responder to know exactly what they need in any particular incident. So if it's a burn, the burns module is clearly labelled. If it's eye wash, it's all clearly labelled. Cuts, grazes, trauma, whatever you need for a first aid or emergency incident, a responder is very, very easily and very quickly going to be able to see which module they need to be heading for.
The key features of the product for us are that it contains defibrillator within the rucksack, and that's really important as we know the response times are critical in the event of an incident. It's also really user friendly, so broken down into different areas, which again, in the event of an incident, means you can respond quicker. And most importantly, it's in the rucksack form, so actually it's easy to get hold of and respond to an emergency.